Now, more of the Mid-Coast Morning Buzz, WCME.
And now the fun begins, the party begins. I have promised to try to throw the best victory party of the weekend on the radio, and we're beginning now, and we have the most important ingredients, that being the people responsible for this huge weekend, really has, or at least a part of it, I got to say, on the Mid-Coast this weekend. Not quite all of it, because there was also the win for the Polar Bears, the Brunswick Polar Bears, just after yours. And I just thought that was such sort of a nice progression of events. First you win, and then about 3 or 4 hours later, the Bowdoin Polar Bears advance in the NCAA Division III tournament. So we have two Brunswick-based women's teams doing fairly amazing things this weekend. This morning, we have, as I have posted on Facebook, 5 special reasons to listen this morning. And we're going to talk to them now. They are Sam Farrell, the veteran coach of the Brunswick Dragon Girls, who are the new Class A state champs, and the 4 captains, who are Abby St. Pierre, who we're just about to meet, Emily Doring, Dakota Shipley, Maddie Warner, Sam Farrell. Good morning, and thanks for making this possible this morning.
Good morning. Love being here.
Sam, how long have you been at Brunswick High now?
Coaching there 15 years.
15 years. You're also a math teacher. I'll just start with a very open-ended question. I know you got a lot on your mind this morning. The first thing I want to know is really this. How is your life different today than it was on Friday morning in the most notable ways?
Well, my phone's a lot busier, I'll tell you. That blew up, and it's still blowing up. No, the biggest difference is I don't get to coach them today. That's it's the bittersweet end of finality of winning a championship, because I think they know one of my favorite places to be is in the gym with them.
Yeah. Well, let me broaden that question a little bit. Tell me maybe how your life is different after this season as a whole, because this has been a huge season for you. You notched your 200th win as a Brunswick coach. That's very notable. You're up to, I think, about 260 career wins now.
Yeah, pretty close.
This has been a milestone season for you, has it not?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is the gold ball. Yeah, I don't know if things change. They know me. We're gonna, as soon as summer starts, I'll start coaching the younger kids. So I don't know if anything's changed other than the gold ball that's sitting in front of me right now.
Well, let me ask you this. How did they lose? Last year, you went to the state game. You had some high hopes. It just didn't work out against Lawrence. How did that loss to Lawrence impact, and I'm going to ask the girls about this also, how did that loss impact you going forward at the start of this season?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the focus, because we always focus on winning the next game. We don't really look too far ahead, but it's easier to push them to work harder and get them to push each other when they know what we could do and how close they were. So that's the biggest thing is just the mindset. And then the week leading up to the state game is a long, long week, and it didn't feel that way this year because the girls just showed up ready to work.
Okay, I just think about, my own life, and I've had some occasional professional setbacks, and sometimes that really spurs me to make it good, make it better. I'm just wondering if there was any of that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, losing's the worst. I hate losing way more than I love winning. And, yeah, that gets you focused, and it focuses the whole team. But, these girls had heard from me since they were little kids that, that ultimate goal is a gold ball, and I'm happy it finally worked out.
Okay, so you've got the gold ball. The gold ball, by the way, and it is a very impressive gold ball, is sitting right next to me here in the studio this morning. We have a picture that we're going to post shortly on Facebook. But you've already mentioned the gold ball being the big thing a couple times, Sam. So I got to wonder, I mean, you're a go-for-it kind of guy. What's your new goal now?
Well, another gold ball. I mean, it has to be. But, you just get to summer and then we start working. But it has to be. You're always trying to get better. And, that's going to be that way until I'm done coaching.
Couple other questions. You ever think about, and I doubt if I'm the first one to ask you this, you have clearly been a very successful high school coach. You ever think about maybe the college coaching level, something like that? Because I would think that you could do that somewhere if you wanted to.
I don't know. I love teaching. The kids know I love teaching math over at Brunswick High. I've been there for 20 years, and I can't think of a better place to be than Brunswick High School.
So you're staying for a while.
It seems that way.
I would assume at some point in your life, we've talked about how you have 200 career wins with Brunswick, 260 total. You have coached boys at some point.
Boys and other sports, not boys basketball. Other than I have a freshman son and a fifth grade son, so okay. I've coached a lot of their travel stuff.
You've clearly been quite successful coaching girls. What's the difference in coaching boys and girls? And if I may ask a delicate question, which do you prefer?
Oh, I wouldn't have stayed with the girls if I didn't love coaching the boys. I mean, the boys' job opened up a few years ago, and I wasn't interested at all. The connections you make coaching girls are totally different. And I ended up coaching girls by accident in 2000. I didn't know what I was really applying for, and just kind of stuck with me for 25 years.
I could imagine that girls, just being a guy myself and knowing what I was like as a teenager, I could imagine that girls are a little bit more open to suggestion, maybe open to the coaching experience. We are kind of conditioned as guys, and I think this is still true, to question authority and rebel a little bit. I think women, even young women, are a little different in that regard sometimes. Yeah,
100%. I mean, the word I'd say is coachable, and it doesn't matter what sport. It seems like, especially our girls here, very coachable. That's a big difference.
Okay, we're going to move on to some of the girls who actually got the job done in Portland on Saturday, and it was most impressive. And we have the four captains here. We're going to start with Abby St. Pierre. Abby, what thoughts are most on your mind right now? What would you like these people listening right now who are big fans and are joining with you in celebrating this win? What would you like them to know that maybe they don't know?
I mean, it's just amazing. Like, we have been working for this for our entire times playing basketball. I've known these girls since, I was little. So, it's just amazing to be able to share this experience with them. And we're also just so grateful for the community. It's as much of a team win as it is a community win, because we wouldn't be where we are without, our family, our fans, our school, our teachers, bus drivers, everyone who helped us get here. So we're really grateful for everyone.
Okay, I'm going to take you back in time a little bit because I'm just curious. When in your early youth did it become apparent to you that you had some talent for playing this game? And, when did you really start to actively pursue it? And just talk about that a little bit.
Well, so I started playing basketball when I was 5, little league, just kind of pick up. And then, I started joining travel teams, AAU teams, and kind of what solidified my interest in the sport and kind of the perceived talent that I guess I had was actually going to summer camps with Coach Farrell, working with he's showing me a picture of little Abby at that camp. But
I'm just curious, yeah. That's true. Sam did just show it. Since we're not television, we have to explain this a little bit. How old were you in that picture about?
Oh, boy.
I
think you're seven, maybe 8.
It's very interesting, Sam. You've really watched these young women grow up from the bottom up, right?
Yeah, most of them have since they've been tiny. I mean, I didn't even believe her first name when I met her because Abrielle, I go, Gabrielle? She's like, no, Abrielle. Okay. So I've known them longer than I haven't known them.
Yeah. Well, you really know them, and that no doubt improves your ability to coach them, does it not?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So, Abby, we didn't mean to interrupt with trivia. Go right ahead with your thoughts.
Well, so as I said, I did the summer camps, and the previous high school girls who played in the program would help out at the summer camps, and it just from then on, and then got into high school, joined the team, made varsity, and ever since then it was working for the Gold Ball. So
just curious, when you woke up on Saturday morning, the day of the big game, How were you feeling? What was your level of confidence? Did you see a win coming? Did you see a big win coming? Or were you more on the fence about all these expectations?
I was super excited. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and I think we were all psyched. I mean, probably a little bit nervous, but, you know, it kind of is what it is. I don't think we really went into it thinking we were going to win, thinking we were going to lose. You know, you never really can. But we knew what we had to do. We all knew our jobs. We knew our roles, and we were able to deliver. So
I will tell you, I was not at the game. I was here producing our broadcast, but I was taking it all in very attentively, and I was listening as Coney jumped out to a very early lead of 8-0. And I got to tell you, Abby, I was starting to think that already the game was getting away from you, and I was entertaining the prospects of a blowout. And I hate blowouts because one reason is because when a blowout is clearly emerging, people tend to turn off the radio and don't listen to the game anymore. So the last thing I wanted was a blowout. And then you just turned around, and it was pretty quickly 8-7. There was a 3-pointer there. What were you thinking as Coney was racking up those 8 early points?
I mean, it definitely was a little scary. You know, it got a little nervous. Definitely was on the edge of my seat a little bit, but you know, I had faith in my teammates, faith in myself. So I think we all knew that we were going to be able to pull it out, and kind of just had to really focus in that moment and overcome that adversity, and we did.
Okay. And Coach Farrell had, over the years, taught you a few things about how to maintain focus and come back and all of that stuff. You're a senior. You're all seniors, right? These are senior captains. What are your college plans?
So I'll be attending the University of Vermont in the fall, majoring in exercise science. So
you're going to continue professionally along these lines? You're going to play basketball at the University of Vermont?
No.
You're not. Sam, what's your reaction? Do you have any reaction to that? Would you like to see her play basketball?
We talked about this. I mean, Abby's got to do what Abby's got to do, but there are intramurals and there are club teams and things like that. I could see Abby. There's no way she's going to sit around and do nothing. She's a volleyball player too. I guarantee she's out there smacking the ball around against the college boys.
All right. Yeah, I would think you'd pick up a basketball at least once.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And just saying that you might prevent a few heart attacks in the area and stuff too, because people just, after this big win, they don't expect to hear you talking about not playing basketball. Some of them can't handle that. Anyway, 7:50 at WCME. We're going to meet 3 more captains in just a moment from the victorious Brunswick Dragon Girls, the new champs of Class A. And man, this is exciting this morning. 7:51. It is 7:54, 6 minutes to late. Jim Blake, doing the Midcoast Morning Buzz. What a start to the week this is. Here on the first Monday of March, we have Sam Farrell, the veteran coach of the Brunswick Dragon Girls for 15 years, and we have the 4 captains who brought the team and the community to a big win on Saturday. You heard it here live on WCME. I'm so happy that we not only brought you the game, but one of our best sports broadcasts ever, anchored by the incomparable Rob Kennedy, who also works for ESPN when he's not working for us. Did just a great job on the call on Saturday. That is posted on WCME on our Facebook page, Facebook and Radio Midcoast WCME. Right now, we're going to meet 2 more of the captains, starting with Maddie Warner. These are all seniors. Maddie, get right up on that microphone and tell me again. I will. Maddie just asked me if I'm going to ask the same question. Again, I am going to ask you again because I think it's the obvious first question. Your thoughts, top of mind this morning. What you most want your fans to know this morning in the aftermath of this big win, gold ball?
That we just worked really hard to get to this point, and worked hard with the week following up to this game, but we also did have a little fun. We watched Wonka at the theaters, which is, a pretty good movie, I will say.
Willy Wonka?
Yeah, Willy Wonka.
Okay. When did you do that?
We did that on Tuesday. and yeah, get the jitters out.
So that was something of a psychological warm up for you.
Yeah, I guess.
What were you thinking about early on Saturday morning when you woke up?
I was just excited to get there. I mean, I was a little nervous, but who wouldn't be?
Sure.
You know, I was thinking about what I got to eat, make sure I got to eat proteins and stuff before the game. But, you know, I was just thinking about getting there, having fun, playing the, best game that we can.
No specific expectations as to a win or a loss.
You can't think about that. I mean, because it can go either way. Like last year went,
Okay.
the way it went. But
I guess one question I asked earlier is my favorite, and I'll probably ask you all because, as I just said to Sam, I'm just naturally interested. I think a lot of people are in the psychology of all this. Your thoughts as you saw Coney racking up an early lead, which went up to 8-0 before you bounced back. What were you thinking about at that point?
I mean, I got a little nervous, but I looked over at Coach to see like his reaction about it, and he didn't really look nervous. So I was just like, well, if he isn't, then we shouldn't be, and we can bounce back from it because stuff like this has happened before, like in regular season games and stuff. So I didn't really get that nervous after I saw his reaction. I was just like, okay, we'll keep playing hard and we'll get back.
Here is one question that I will ask everybody because we're all curious about this. Your future plans, your college plans.
I'm planning on going to University of New England and studying occupational therapy.
You going to play basketball?
Yes.
Okay. That's what everybody wants to hear. You should have a nice time. That's an interesting... I did some of my early radio work in Springfield, Massachusetts. You should enjoy the town. And you won't be too far away from home here.
Yeah, I'll be in Biddeford, Maine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be in Biddeford?
Yeah, University of New England.
At their Biddeford campus.
Yes.
Okay. It's headquartered in Springfield, I believe, right?
I think that might be Northeastern. New England College? New England College.
Oh, okay. There is a difference between Western New England College and University. I didn't consider that. Okay. Well, you'll be very close then.
Yeah, I'll be like an hour and a half away from home.
Okay.
So not bad.
Dakota Shipley is next here, and who's pictured several times with her pet chicken, by the way, on the Facebook page. Everybody loves that picture. Yes, Emily, have a seat. We will get to Emily Doring very shortly, but Dakota Shipley, tell me about your thoughts on Saturday. Well, I'll just start more broadly. What would you say to people about your reflections on this whole massive weekend and a massive event that you have had a key part in staging? Dakota, by the way, was the top scorer on Saturday with 21 points. She has often been the high scorer this season. Your thoughts in general this morning?
I was just super excited, and I was happy with the outcome. I was also happy that the community came. It was a big turnout, which was not really what happened during the season. But I was happy that everybody came out, especially the kids from our school. That was pretty fun.
All of you are just so humble. It's almost like you're too humble. We'd like a little bit more, I don't know, rah here, but you seem to take this very much in stride. Very mentally healthy, I might add, but not necessarily so much fun. But anyway, but it's okay. It's okay. Tell me about what you were thinking about what you went through in advance of the game, because I think that's interesting to people.
I was definitely really nervous. And when we did come out of the locker room, we came out pretty early, so that just made my nerves go up more. Because we had to wait like 10, 15 minutes to go onto the gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, nervous. Everybody was nervous, but really excited.
And again, I come back to this. You were on the floor as Coney was starting to rack up a significant lead early on, 8-0 before a point was scored by your side. What were you thinking about then? Were you getting worried?
I was getting a little worried, but I knew that if we played our game, it would come out how we wanted it to, which it did. But yeah, and Coach wasn't nervous at all, so we had no need to be nervous.
I get a sense from all of you that you felt you were going into that game as prepared as you possibly could be.
Yeah, we were preparing really well all week, and yeah.
I got to ask a few more questions of Dakota Shipley. By the way, the 8 o'clock news is going to start maybe appreciably late this morning because these young women can't stay too long. They got to go to school still, but we want to talk to all of them in some depth. And Dakota, as I mentioned, and as a lot of people are aware, is pictured all over our Facebook page with a chicken on her shoulder. And the subject here this morning is definitely basketball, but I'm going to divert it to the subject of barnyard animals for just a few minutes for you to explain how you came to possess that chicken.
So I do personally have chickens at my house, but that chicken's not my chicken. It's my friend's chicken.
Well, it seems to love you.
Yeah. Oh, I love the chickens.
Okay. And it's not a rooster.
It's not a rooster. It's just a bigger chicken.
Okay. I thought it was a rooster, but someone with whom I spoke actually last night about this picture said, that's not a rooster because roosters don't sit on shoulders. Like, is that true?
I'm not sure. I'm going to say yes.
Okay. She's a basketball expert, not a poultry and chicken expert. We understand that. Dakota, your plans from here on in, starting next year?
I haven't picked a school yet, but I'm thinking of staying in Maine and majoring in nursing.
Nursing? You're going to play basketball?
I am going to play basketball.
Thank you. I mean, it would be just kind of a huge drag to hear that the top scorer on Saturday is giving up basketball, so we're really happy to hear that. Let us go to Emily Doring. Emily, get very close to that microphone and tell me your thoughts this morning. What you would like people to know that maybe they don't know or haven't yet heard.
It was very exciting the day of, and still people are still talking about it, obviously.
Yeah.
And the community was really good, and a lot of people turned out for the game, and still people are saying stuff about it, obviously, like I said. So, yeah, that's very exciting.
They're going wild. By the way, I'm just wondering, any celebration? I'm sure you're going to be celebrating amongst yourself. Any events coming up for you in the aftermath of all this? I mean, I would think you'd be getting some invitations and stuff like that. Sam, what?
I mean, we're here. I mean, that's we'll have our banquet. I don't know what's going to go on. Like, this is the first time. I got to talk to Coach Hansen, who longtime boys coach,
yes,
who's gone through some things. But
yes,
we'll have our banquet. There's a pep rally on Thursday at the high school at Spirit Week. So there'll be things like that.
Okay. Emily Doring, I want to know what was going through your mind in the early tense moments on Saturday with Coney building up a lead before you scored.
That was definitely a little bit nerve-wracking, but I had trust in our teammates and myself that we could settle in and that we would come back from it.
High degree of confidence. What, by the way, here's an original question that I haven't asked yet. At what point in the game did you see victory pretty much assured? Did you start to feel that it was in the bag? You remember that moment?
I think going into halftime, I was pretty confident.
Yeah.
But definitely after the third quarter, I knew that we had that.
Yeah, I think everybody did at that point. What are your plans for next year?
I'm not sure of the school yet, but majoring in elementary education.
Okay. And the obvious question, are you going to keep playing hoop?
No.
No?
No.
But you've done so well. Not going to play?
Nope, not going to play.
Totally ruling it out.
Well, maybe like intramurals or club,
there you go.
But
there you go. That's what we wanted to hear. Sam Farrell, some final words from you this morning. This has been, I'm not sure you sense the depth of feeling about this in the community. Everybody loves you. I mean, this is viewed as a community achievement as much as it is one that you and your girls have put on here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going to the grocery store yesterday took me a little extra.
I would think.
Because I live in Brunswick, too. No, but the big thing is all the feedback from, I've had about 100 players come through and play for me since I've been here. And I think the gold ball from our girls now is shared with those girls that have played through all these years. Because being the first means a lot. And, Joanne Palumbo-McCauley sent us a nice message post-victory. But the biggest thing I think the town needs to take away, I know we won a championship and these girls are talented, but if they got to know the character and these young ladies,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. We have 14 players on the team plus a manager, and they are 15 of the greatest girls in that building. And that's where the town and the school needs to be proud most. And the gold ball is just the icing on the cake.
Well, I've got to tell you, I'm somewhat blown away by the humility here. I mean, it would be very natural, even for the nicest, most modest people, to be a little, on fire. And it's clear to me that these 4 young women are very grounded, is I think the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they got out all their cheering when they soaked me with water for the second game in a row, walking into the locker room.
Oh,
so,
really?
After coaching them for so many years, they finally felt confident enough that they could douse me.
Does anybody have a photo of that? Because if you do, we'll post it.
We got a video of in the regional final when I walked in. My assistant coach set me up. I didn't know it was coming. This one I had an idea. Most of them just sprayed me with water. Dakota threw the water bottle at me.
Oh, man. We'd love to have if we get a photo of that, you can guarantee we'll
all right, we'll get you the video.
Okay. Yeah, we'll post the video too. Sam, I would be very remiss if I didn't ask you to talk for a moment about the prospects for next year. A lot of people already wondering if you have the capacity to repeat next year, because you're going to lose all 4 of these talented young women with whom we've been speaking.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts the heart a little bit for these 4 to graduate. No, we got talent come back. I mean, Lexi Morin comes back, and she's the 2-time MVP of the South Tournament. And, we've got a few other starters, and there's plenty of kids who got good minutes. It just comes down to work. And I don't doubt for a second that the returning players haven't learned how to work from these veterans here and the veterans before. And I'm lucky that we've got a good tradition going on of hard work and hopefully win some basketball games.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see Lexi in here this morning, but I think we ought to note that her significant contribution to all this, and she was the second highest scorer on Saturday with 12 points.
Yep.
And again, Dakota Shipley, with whom we did talk, 21 points. And without the chicken on her shoulder.
Without the chicken. Maybe with the chicken she could have scored 30. I don't know.
Yeah, chickens can contribute mightily in basketball games. Sam, so many congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in here this morning. I know you went out of your way a little bit organizationally to make this happen, and we really appreciate it. I can tell you the whole community appreciates it. And I personally can't wait for the start of your season next year. And we covered you on a live basis pretty heavily this year. We hope to do even more of that next year. And I think the community will demand it just based on your performance this year. So thank you very much.
Well, and can I give a big shout out? Cantrell Seafood bought 300 T-shirts to give out for free at the game on Saturday. Just to make that a sea of orange. His daughter Natalie plays on my team, and I was hoping for 100, and he said, hey, I ordered 300. So it's support like that in this community that's amazing.
By the way, did you get, and I even emailed Scott Stewart about this, and I sensed that it didn't happen. In the past, there have been police escorts for the buses. I just wondered if...
Yeah, we had two police cars, an ambulance, and a fire truck, and they picked us up right at the exit, all the way downtown to the high school. It was amazing. We had some screams on there. You talked about Dakota, my 10-year-old in Dakota, where he hollering out the window. It was pretty fun.
I'm so glad to hear that, because that has happened in the past, and it certainly should have happened this time, and I'm glad to hear that it did. Thank you so much for coming in. This has been great. Expectations fulfilled. Sam Farrell, and again, the 4 graduating senior captains of the victorious champions of Class A, the Brunswick Dragon Girls. Again, their names are Abby St. Pierre, Emily Doring, Dakota Shipley, Maddie Warner. They are all just at the edge of a great life adventure, and I sense, just based on talking to them this morning, they are, I find, to be a very mature young women who will have all kinds of success in whatever their lines of pursuit might be. So, man, oh man, are we ever late with the news? We've never delayed it. Feel honored.
I don't know who's covering my pre-cal class right now, but thank you.
Well, I will tell you, we take the news very seriously here in the morning, and we only delay it in very rare circumstances, and this is one of those for sure. The victorious The champions, the gold ball possessors, the Brunswick Dragon Girls at 8:10 on WCME.
From historic Fort Andros in downtown Brunswick, this is WCME. Brunswick, Bath, Topsom, Freeport, Harpswell, 99.5 and 900 AM. Information for the Mid-Coast.